Justice Efren de la Cruz, Justice Jose Perez, Justice Benvenido Reyes, Justice Andres Reyes, Justice Remedios Fernando, Justice Danton Buser, Justice Roman del Rosario, and Deputy Court Administrator Raul Villanueva. Thank you for coming to the Senate on a non-work day here, but I work on Fridays. That's the reason why there's not too many people, but also it's probably the reason why the passage of your budget will be expedited. But we would like to hear from you, and perhaps Deputy Court Administrator Villanueva can make the presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chairperson, and good morning. Before I start, with the permission, of course, of our Associate Justices from the Supreme Court and the other Justices of the Appellate Court, I will be making the presentation of the proposed budget for the Judiciary for 2015, which we refer to as Sustaining Judicial Development and Reforms. And in making this presentation, Your Honor, may I just state that we will present what we propose before the National Expenditure Program was submitted to the House of Representatives and to the Senate. So for 2015, the Judiciary proposed a budget of 32.664 billion, Your Honor. 31.697 billion if we do not include the NEP, the RLIP or RLIP, or what we refer to as retirement life insurance premiums. But if we include the RLIP, the total budget that we proposed for 2015 was 32.664 billion. However, the National Expenditure Program, Your Honor, provided a budget of only 20.285 billion for the Judiciary. If we do not include the RLIP, it's 19.499 billion. Your Honor, the RLIP actually is something that is regularly provided, and it's non-discretionary insofar as the appropriation or use thereof is concerned. That's why sometimes I mention with RLIP or without RLIP, Your Honor. Now, the 20.285 billion provided in the National Expenditure Program is actually 38% less than what we propose for 2015. So there is a difference of 12.1 billion with respect to what we proposed in 2015 and what was provided for in the National Expenditure Program for 2015. And the increase in the budget of the Judiciary, comparing it to the 2014 GAA or RA 10633, is only a 5% increase, no, for insofar as our budget is concerned, which is quite lower, no, compared to the 15% growth of the national budget for 2015. In terms of expense class, Your Honor, the personal services for the Judiciary, there was a decrease for the record in personal services for the Court of Tax Appeals, no, and no change for the Presidential Electoral Tribunal. With respect to MOOE, there is no change in the MOE for the Court of Appeals. And with respect to the capital outlay, there is a decrease in the capital outlay for the Sandigan Bayan and no capital outlay for the Court of Appeals, the Court of Tax Appeals, and the Presidential Electoral Tribunal. If we classify it in terms of the courts, Your Honor, there is an increase in the budget of the Supreme Court and lower courts of 961 million. With respect to the Presidential Electoral Tribunal, the increase in the budget comparing it to the 2014 GAA is only 35,000 pesos, which only is for MOE. For the Sandigan Bayan, there's only an increase in its budget of 5 million, Your Honor. But with respect to the Court of Appeals and the Court of Tax Appeals, there was actually a decrease in their budgets compared to 2014. And for the Court of Appeals, the decrease is 23 million, while for the CTA, it's 1 million, Your Honor.
May I just know the decrease is in capital outlay or in personnel services?
With respect to the Court of Appeals, The decrease is with respect to MOE and capital, some with respect to capital outlay. The same also with respect to the CTA, Your Honor, particularly with respect to the MOE.
It's the first time that I'm in charge of your budget. I'd like to know, in recent years, has there been a decrease as well, or it's only for this time it's been decreased?
Well, if we compare it, Your Honor, to the budget of 2014 and 2013, there was no, there was an increase with respect to these items for both courts. But for this year, for next year, Your Honor, there is a decrease for those for the CTA and the CA.
In your technical budget briefings in the DBM, this was cited. May I know the reason why your budget, as presented, was not approved?
Well, apparently, some of the expenses covered by the MOE or capital outlay, they did not include it anymore for 2015, Your Honor. That's why perhaps that there was a marked increase with respect to the budget of the CTA and the CA.
What about the repair or construction of halls of justice, which were mentioned earlier? What was in Cagayan de Oro? How will this be?
There is no budget for that specifically, Your Honor, with respect to the repairs of those courts that you mentioned, Your Honor. But there is a provision in the MOE for a repair of some of our lower court halls of justice, Your Honor.
Clarified on the halls of justice. I understand that the halls of justice is lodged under the Department of Justice budget?
Yes.
Or is it under the Judiciary budget? May I
Your Honor, the present setup is that pursuant to Administrative Order Number 99, dated December 1, 1988, when it comes to construction of new halls of justice, the budget will come from the Department of Justice, Your Honor. It is not included as part of the budget of the Judiciary. And then to implement this, the Department of Justice entered into a memorandum of agreement wherein they tapped the services of the Department of Public Works and Highways for purposes of constructing newly new halls of justice, Your Honor. So, insofar as the budget of the Judiciary is right now, we do not have any capital outlay for new halls of justice, Your Honor. So we have to rely on the budget that is being given to the Department of Justice. And may I just inform you, Your Honor, that at least for the last 5 years, there was even an instance wherein the DOJ did not have a budget for JUSIP, Your Honor, in 2011 and in 2013. So that's why in our proposal, actually later on, as we make our presentation, we are asking for a review of this setup, Your Honor, that the JUSIP be reviewed, and that with respect to the construction already of new halls of justice, this should already be given to the Supreme Court, Your Honor.
Has there been any communication, negotiation between the Judiciary, the Supreme Court, and the DOJ as regards the construction of new halls of justice?
Yes, there is coordination insofar as new halls of justice are concerned, Your Honor. But of course, we only provide information regarding, of course, the requirements that we want, to be at least included or set up in a new hall of justice, Your Honor. But other than that, it's everything. Everything is being done by the DOJ through the Department of Public Works and Highways.
You're referring to new ones. How about the old ones? Who rehabilitates, restores, and the upkeep of the present?
Well, we are given funding for repair and rehabilitation, but Your Honor, our experience would show that the budget being given to us for repair and rehabilitation of halls of justice is not enough, Your Honor. We have more than 385 halls of justice nationwide, Your Honor, that we are maintaining. More than 385 halls of justice, Your Honor, nationwide. And the budget being given to us is not enough, that sometimes we have to source some funding from available savings of the Supreme Court for that purpose.
It is the Supreme Court that allocates, assesses the need of each of the 385 halls of justice insofar as maintenance is concerned.
That is correct, Your Honor. We have an Office on Halls of Justice, which has the technical and expertise in order to address the needs and the requirements of our halls of justice, Your Honor.
On a side note, just like the Department of Education has the so-called Gabaldon buildings,
Yes, Your
which
Honor.
are heritage buildings, are there among the halls of justice heritage structures that need to be declared by the NHCP as such?
Well, I guess for the proposed construction of the Manila Hall of Justice, Your Honor, because we do not have a Manila Hall of Justice at this time. It will be constructed in the old GSIS building site near the Manila City Hall. So once construction is done with respect there, we have to maintain some historical features of that building, Your
An
Honor.
existing old building?
Yes, yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your
Interesting.
Honor.
Okay. Justice Perez po. Yes.
May I volunteer some information on that note? You don't type. You perhaps is referring to the specific architectural structure. During the time of Chief Justice Davide, there was this committee which was tasked to form a particular architectural design such that I remember Chief Justice Davide saying that like what you see in the chapels of the Iglesia ni Cristo, you will already say that is the Hall of Justice. But the committee was able to submit their work, but after that there was no more follow-up insofar as that is concerned. But there was an attempt to make this Gabaldon type or Gabaldon.
Perhaps we could be furnished, not, of course your budget is not dependent on that, but just interesting, if there are halls of justice which are older than 50 years old, which are beautiful in architecture, similar to the Gabaldon type. If you are not familiar with the Gabaldon type, you're familiar
Yes,
with that?
yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
By Congressman Gabaldon, that's why they came up with.
Correct. And
with,
there are 1,000 of that all over the country. 200 have been restored by the DepEd and 800 more. And I am helping Sec Louis Straw do that. Perhaps there are beautiful halls of justice which are 50 years and older. As you know, there is a law, the heritage law, where you cannot demolish
Yes.
and cannot just rehabilitate something 50 years old or older without the permission of the NHCP. Yes.
Yes, Your Honor. We will do that, Your Honor.
Yeah,
Thank you so much for that.
Justice Reyes po.
Yes, the Court of Appeals building is already 80 years old. So it could qualify to be declared a national heritage building already. Yes. Even the Supreme Court, the old Supreme Court building in Taft Avenue is about the same age, 80 years old.
The Supreme Court building is beautiful. It is.
It used to be the UP buildings.
And the DFA.
Understand, sir, that you are transferring somewhere? There is such an effort, a plan to move.
Yes, Your Honor. A memorandum of agreement had already been entered by the Supreme Court with the BCDA, Business Conversion Development Authority, and we were able to purchase on installment for 10 years a property there, more than 2,000 square meters, Your Honor, or 20,000 2 hectares, Your Honor. And for the 2015 budget, we've been provided the budget for the first yearly installment of 128 million.
For the land or for the...
For the land only, Your Honor.
It will take some time before you build.
The plan, of course, of the Supreme Court through the honorable members of the NBank is that to move or at least begin construction within the next 2 years, Your Honor.
May I... What happens now to the present Supreme Court building? It will be turned over back to UP?
I guess that will be the case. That will be.
May I be assured that this will not be demolished? And in fact, this can be rehabilitated. It is a beautiful structure and a heritage structure.
We are maintaining the aesthetic feature of the buildings right now, Your Honor, so that when it is turned over, if and when it will be turned over, Your Honor, I think that will also be part of the conditions there, Your Honor.
Again, may I volunteer the information that in that newly constructed, well, relatively newly constructed building, the edifice was a reproduction of the old edifices, of the old buildings. I am referring to what they now call the new building, Centennial Building. The
Thank you. While the judiciary has received modest increases in its annual budget, Your Honor, compared to increases in the national budget, it would appear that we have been, for the last 3 years, Your Honor, receiving less than the growth, no, of the budget, no, of the national budget. And the percent share of the national budget continues to be a downtrend. For your information, Your Honor, we haven't reached 1%, no, since the last 9 years, Your Honor. And in fact, for 2015, we are receiving the lowest in terms of percentage share, no, in the national budget for the judiciary, Your Honor. And that is about 0.75%. No. If we include the ILIP, it's 0.778%, Your Honor. Had our proposed budget of 32.6 billion been considered, Your Honor, our share would have been 1.25%. That is the reason why we were asking for a higher budget, because we would want to at least have a budget that is more than 1% of the entire national budget, Your Honor. But again, as we have mentioned, as mentioned earlier, Your Honor, we're only getting about 0.78%, including the RLIP, Your Honor. The proposed budget of 32.664 billion, Your Honor, had this been considered, would have at least supported our programs to decongest our court dockets and, of course, to modernize our judiciary, Your Honor. And, of course, the budget that we've been asking, Your Honor, is intended to at least support and provide funds for our strategies to improve our case management and efficient court operations, as well as to enhance and make more responsive our judicial training and legal education, to improve our court physical and technological features and processes, Your Honor. With respect to the case decongestion program, one of the two major thrusts, no, of the judiciary, may we just like to inform Your Honor that this would have also addressed our activities involving the Enhanced Justice on Wheels program, a program wherein we bring the court system more accessible, especially to our indigent, to the indigents. No? And likewise, this provides an opportunity to release detention prisoners, especially those who've been detained for quite some time and the cases have not been moving as fast as we wanted to. So for January 2011 up to September of 2014, Your Honor, may I just inform you that we have at least heard more than 4,333 cases and 3,170 were dismissed. So those number of cases are considered out of the court system already. And this resulted in the release of more than 2,600 detention prisoners, Your Honor. Likewise, our small claims
Justice on Wheels, how do you select the regions where you're present, or you're present in all regions?
We are, what we do, Your Honor, is we do the Justice on Wheels program on a monthly basis, and then we rotate it among the regions, no? Especially those we have not yet visited for the past 5 years. But for your information, Your Honor, we have practically covered all the regions, and we are returning to the regions that we previously went to, no? Like 4 or 3 years ago, to be able to relaunch the program, Your Honor. Our small claims courts, Your Honor, for your information, this had been in place since 2008, and this resulted in addressing cases where the claims for the payment of money is not more than 100,000 pesos. This, the proceedings here is more summary than those provided in the rules and summary procedure, because there are 2 hearings usually for these particular kinds of cases. And on the second hearing, once the judge has heard the evidence or received the evidence and heard the testimonies of witnesses, he decides the case already. And the decision that he renders insofar as these kinds of cases are concerned are usually considered unappealable or non-appealable, Your Honor. So we have more or less disposed of cases because of this substantial number of cases because of this small claims court system, Your Honor. Likewise, we have engaged in what we call the Justicia program. This started in July of 2013, Your Honor, and it's an ongoing activity. We are conducting, insofar as this program is concerned, an inventory of the cases, and then upon determining the inventory of cases for what we consider as heavily burdened courts, we come up with solutions to declug or at least dispose of these cases. And we have more or less achieved remarkable results in Quezon City, where we pilot tested it, and now this has been rolled out to stations in Davao, Angeles City, Makati, Pasig, and Manila, Your Honor. Likewise, only a few days ago, Your Honor, we have already promoted what we refer to as the continuous trial system. The continuous trial system involves criminal cases only at this point in time, involving those under the Rules on Summary Procedure and BP 22 cases, Your Honor, as well as those involving drugs cases and family court cases, particularly trafficking cases, Your Honors, and wherein minors are considered as victims or accused, Your Honor. This will fall under the continuous trial system. The guideline, we have 26 actually voluntary courts in Manila, Quezon City, and Makati, no, to handle these kinds of cases. We expect that once the rules or guidelines have been approved by the NBank, by the Supreme Court NBank, then this will already be implemented, Your Honor.
May I be clarified on that? These are rules for the trafficking cases? Special rules for trafficking cases?
Yes, Your Honor. We are giving priority to trafficking cases among other cases that is included in the continuous trial system, Your Honor.
May I know from any of the justices present here, what are the special rules being formulated, mentioned by the Deputy Court Administrator, insofar as trafficking cases are concerned?
Your Honor, the committee mentioned by DCA Raul has already submitted to the NBank proposed rules, and it was discussed preliminarily during our last session, and further study will have to be needed because it was observed that some drastic revisions of the rules of court will have to be done.
Is this pertaining to sensitivities because it involves minors?
Yes, and women, of course, Your Honor.
Yes. Is it coordinated with the AYACAT?
Yes, Your Honor. In fact, for the past 2 years, Your Honor, we have been providing needed assistance for AYACAT to be able to monitor trafficking cases. And this resulted in our courts already deciding a number of trafficking cases nationwide, Your Honor. That's why I think we have been removed from the tier 3 level of the United States. We have improved to tier 2, Your Honor, because of that.
We know, of course, that the 2003 Anti-Trafficking in Persons Law, which is the first law, which I authored my first term, however, it was ineffective, and that's the reason why 2 years ago we enacted the expanded Anti-Trafficking in Persons Act. And I appreciate the fact that you mentioned that these courses on these cases on trafficking have been moving fast. May I know whether trafficking cases have actually increased in recent years, let's say in the past 5 or 10 years? But it's been moving, you say, in the courts.
Well, Your Honor, if we will base it on newspaper accounts, it would appear that there is a marked increase, Your Honor. But actually, there are some instances wherein trafficking cases are not being filed because there are different elements of the crime that do not appear or is not present, Your Honor. That's why, if you will ask us, Your Honor, there are some cases that result in illegal recruitment instead of trafficking, Your Honor. But that's why, insofar as trafficking cases per se, Your Honor, we cannot say if there is really a marked improvement, but of course there are a number of cases being filed. Thank you, Your Honor. The creation of additional courts and positions, Your Honor, is something that we would like to emphasize because we have a great increase, no, in cases, but at the same time, a number of courts have been created through laws, no, coming from Congress. In fact, we have about 295 new courts, Your Honors, based on the laws that were passed from 2010 up to the present, Your Honor. And we need to come up with at least courts for all of these newly created courts, Your Honor. And that these are not provided in the laws creating new courts, Your Honor. That's why that's something that we would like to also include, no?
How many courts, if we are to follow the laws that Congress enacts, how many courts do we need to fund and how much would it cost? In short, magkano po ang unfunded loss insofar as the creation of courts is concerned?
Based on our studies, Your Honor, to be able to, for only the plantilla positions, Your Honor, from the judge all the way down to the clerk of court and then the utility personnel, you need about 5 million annually, Your Honor, to fund for those positions alone. To construct halls of justice, Your Honor, of course, we have what we call ansaldo types. If you have single sala court, we have a model for a design, no, for a single sala court, and usually that will cost about perhaps 10 to 15 million, just one structure, Your Honor, of an ansaldo court. Kasama bang MOE doon? Hindi pa, no? 5 million or less? No. Yes po. Thank you po. And just for the record, Your Honor, the 5 million that I mentioned does not include the MOE that is required for the maintenance and operation of the court. And at present, the level of MOE being given to us is about 90,000 per month, Your Honor.
In a justice hearing here in the Senate on another issue altogether, not the budget, I forget the name, but the president of a judges association had mentioned about the creation of a position called confidential security officer.
Sure,
May I know if that position exists and whether it is funded? And this is due to the security situation and these are dangerous times, and there was such a proposal from this judges association. May I know the view of the Judiciary, the Supreme Court?
May I just inform you, Your Honor, that for one, there is no such plantilla position, no, for all the courts regarding confidential security personnel. What we're in fact proposing for now is a confidential legal researcher, no, for all the courts, because to have them in their adjudicative work. With respect to security personnel, Your Honor, I guess what that judge might have in mind is like a bailiff kind of position, Your Honor, which we do not have. In fact, for security, for as part of our security measures, we either get security from the police, Your Honor, or of course we have security guards, but they only man the entrances and exits. And we make use of our sheriffs and court process servers to just stay within the courtroom during a trial to provide security. But outside, when the judges leave the halls of justice and leave the premises, Your Honor, the courts, they do not have any security, so sometimes they're just being provided with escorts, again, using some of our existing court personnel, Your Honor.
You in favor of the creation of the confidential security officer position?
Definitely, Your Honor. Definitely, Your Honor. We are in favor of that one. But we would like to submit that initially we would be we would give priority to the court legal researchers
Legal
because
researcher.
it pertains to the adjudicative work of our judges, Your Honors. Because not all, well, although we're not praying for that, Your Honor, but we consider that that is a serious matter. In fact, we have a judge who had to resign, Your Honor. She is only in the judiciary for less than a year, but she had to resign because of security threats, Your Honor. Despite the fact that we've been asking her to reconsider, she decided to just leave the judicial service because we cannot provide close-in security for her, Your Honor.
Justice Reyes, you were saying something?
The remarks and manifestation of DCA Villanueva, but at this point, it is not yet, I don't think that it is necessary at this point for that security officer. We are more concerned on adjudicative matters. So we need legal researchers. In my stay in the judiciary for almost, I've been in the judiciary for about, no, not only 15, 25, about more than 20 years. I would say about 25 years. And I have not received any threat for that matter. So it's just siguro isolated. Ano lang yan,
Well, that's
isolated
good to hear
cases.
because the Judges Association officers who were in that Justice Committee hearing were very passionate about it. And they were even asking that they be exempted from from the processing of gun permits. And I said, no, not even a senator should be exempted. Everyone should go through the process. Gusto nila ang mga judges magkaroon ng armas at hindi raw kailangan pumila at mahirapan kumuha ng permiso. Opo. So, iba po ang pananaw ng judiciary.
No. We support, of course, we are very much concerned about the security of our judges, Your Honor. But in terms of creating positions in the meantime for their security, perhaps, that can be arranged in the meantime with our police authorities. And if priorities will be taken into consideration, then we would rather that what we've been proposing, coterminous legal researchers be provided instead, Your Honor. In the meantime.
That means that's a new plantilla position.
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
Is it in your initial submission?
Yes, Your Honor. It is.
But it was deleted.
It was not included.
How much
in
would
the
that cost?
Based on our computation, Your Honor, it's about annually 800 million, Your Honor.
Because there would be as many legal researchers as there are courts.
Your Honor.
Wala pong legal researcher right now?
There is.
Ano po? Clerk of
Yung
court.
legal researcher, pero hindi po abogado. Not required to be a lawyer.
Really? There is no legal researcher na abogado?
Ang qualification standard po ay LLB or even just a 4-year course. They are not required to be lawyers. And when they become lawyers, they apply for the position of the clerk of court.
All the courts don't have a legal researcher who is a lawyer.
Opo.
But some, it's not required. So there's a need for a creation of a new position, or are you just supposed to make your requirements stricter so that they are lawyers? Ano po ang solusyon doon?
The more ideal solution would be a new position, a new lawyer position, confidential in character, coterminous on character, so that when the judge leaves, yung legal researcher niya will not be left there. The continuous position would be that of the present legal researcher who is not a lawyer. Perhaps that there can be a escalafon where the lawyer would be legal researcher 2 and then the non-lawyer would be legal researcher 1.
Sino po ang gumagawa ng research para sa mga... Sa lahat po.
Usually po, clerk of court ang katulong.
Ang clerk of court. $800 million.
I stand corrected, Your Honor. It was initially that was the figure that we came out with, but later on when it was further studied, it's 1.5 billion actually annually, Your Honor. And Your Honor, actually, the regional trial courts, the second-level courts, they have court legal researchers as part of their plantilla. But with respect to many of our first-level courts, there are no legal researchers position, Your Honor.
First level courts don't have. It's the RTCs
Many
have.
RTCs have.
Legal researchers who are lawyers.
Yes, as part of the... No, they are
Not
not
even.
lawyers. Law
Oh,
graduates.
so
Your
whether
Honor.
it's the lower courts or the RTCs need this lawyer position
Yes,
for...
sir. Coterminous, Your Honor.
Coterminous.
Coterminous for their adjudicative work.
And this was never brought up in past years, never included, or it's always been included in the plantilla but always deleted in the budget.
We proposed that last year, Your Honor. It was not included, so we again proposed it this year, and it was not again considered, Your Honor.
Just for my education, in neighboring countries in ASEAN, is there such a position? Or it's always just a legal researcher who is not a lawyer and the judge?
Your Honor, while we do not have the exact data, Your Honor, but I mean, worldwide, globally, legal researcher positions in courts are usually provided, Your Honor. And then many of those are lawyers. But in our case, the only lawyer position that we have, especially in the second-level court or the regional trial courts, are clerks of court, Your Honor. Okay, thank you, Your Honor. Now going to our efforts to modernize the judiciary, that's why we've been asking for a bigger budget. First is with respect to the rollout of our e-courts. This system, Your Honor, affords easy access to court records and the status of pending cases. This also facilitates the monitoring of our court proceedings. At present, we only have an e-court system largely in Quezon City, Your Honor, and we would like to pilot this and roll this out. That's why we're asking for a budget. In other stations for 2014, we would like to roll it out in 129 courts, and then in 2015 in about 83 courts, and then we expect that by the end of 2015 we have already about 273 e-courts, Your Honor. That's why we need the budget for this one. With respect to what we earlier mentioned about the responsibility over the constructions of Hall of Justice, Your Honor, we have encountered problems regarding this setup, the JUSIP program. For one, there are instances wherein, like I mentioned earlier, there is no budget in the DOJ for the JUSIP. Likewise, we have difficulties in the turnover of the halls of justice upon the construction of the new halls of justice from the DOJ to the Supreme Court, Your Honor, for purposes of maintaining the same. And likewise, we have experienced sometimes newly constructed halls of justice being done in places not provided for under the law, Your Honor. Next, Your Honor, is the transfer of the Supreme Court to Fort Bonifacio, which we have mentioned earlier. Likewise, as part of our judiciary modernization program, Your Honor, is with respect to the IT infrastructure program. We need 350 million for 500 trial courts, to be able to provide them with the necessary computers to automate, to be able to keep pace with our automation programs, Your Honor. And in addition to this 350 million for our IT infrastructure program, we need about 70 million pesos to establish our alternative data center in Angeles City, Your Honor. Likewise, we need 250 million for our nationwide connectivity for trial courts. We would like to put all our courts online as much as possible already, Your Honor, so that it would be easier for them to have access to information, relevant information insofar as their adjudicative and administrative work or functions are concerned, Your Honor. And likewise, to enable our courts to have access to better manage their inventories, Your Honor. And in order that they can already avail of many of the reforms on electronic filing and of pleadings, as well as the e-payment of docket fees, including hopefully with respect to processes on e-notices and e-subpoenas and e-warrants, Your Honor. Likewise, we have embarked in part of our judiciary modernization activity is the process engineering or the process mapping, Your Honor, to rationalize the judiciary's plantilla. Your Honor, we have stated before and now we would like to put on record, Your Honor, that the kind of plantilla that we have, especially for the lower courts, we feel is not something that is already conducive or even something that is reasonable insofar as the discharge of these judicial functions of our courts is concerned. We have a utility worker that is still salary grade 1, Your Honor. And we feel that this salary grade for our utility workers may not be even be at par with those that are holding the same positions, Your Honor. That's why we are into this already, Your Honor. We would like to maximize as well the plantilla positions that we have. And for us to be able to come up with this process re-engineering, that's why we're asking for funding as well. And then further, Your Honor, is what we refer to as the justice zone. This is an increased coordinative effort on the part of our justice sector stakeholders, Your Honor, from the courts to the police, to the prosecutors, to the town lawyers, and then to the community and the local government, Your Honor. This had already been pilot tested, Your Honor, in Quezon City, and we're in the process of coming out with the results of the same, Your Honor. We have been reviewing procedures on preliminary investigation and the grant of bail in this station, Your Honor, in order to at least make predictable processes in these courts. That, Your Honor, to sustain and fully implement these programs on court, on judiciary modernization and court docket decongestion, Your Honor, we need a total of 7.462 billion. That was not considered as additional budget for our personal services, Your Honor. And this would include this would include funding for positions in the Supreme Court, in the lower courts, particularly 3,089 positions for family courts under RA 8369, and about 2,239 court legal researchers which we have earlier mentioned, Your Honor, that we would want to be coterminous with our judges, Your Honor. And then the Sandigan Bayan, the Court of Tax Appeals, and the Court of Appeals.
Yes, may I just ask about the family courts?
Yes, Your Honor.
This is a law that created the family courts.
Yes, Your Honor.
19, anong taon yun?
That is
Authored by
Rocco.
Senator Rocco po
Yes,
yun. It was before I joined the Senate.
Early 2000, Your Honor.
It remains unfunded.
The law has yet to be implemented, Your Honor, because under the law, there is supposed to be about 172 family courts to be created in every city and province nationwide, Your Honor. At present, we have 118 family courts, Your Honor, 43 of which are concentrated in Metro Manila, and the rest distributed in the 12 regions, Your Honor, judicial regions. These are all regional trial courts, Your Honors. The law requires the creation of new courts, new family courts, Your Honors. So what we only have are designated regular courts as family courts, Your Honors.
May I know the repercussion of the non-implementation of this law when the function of the family court is lodged in the regional trial court? What does it make of the cases filed there?
Yes.
How does it affect the victims?
Yes, sir. Well, Your Honor, for one, the facilities required for a family court remains unfunded, Your Honor. And then the creation of positions like for social workers, because every family court should be provided social workers, Your Honor. We do not have those kinds of positions right now as provided for under 8369. By the way, Your Honor, it's a 1997 law, Your Honor.
Do we therefore adjust now that, well, it's been, what, 16 years? No.
Yes, Your Honor.
16 years of the
17, yes.
17 years of an unfunded law, which is very important. So how has the judiciary adjusted to the situation, and how are the family cases dealt with in the RTC?
Well, Your Honor, like I said, the Supreme Court designated 118 family courts in the meantime. So the designation only involves them handling family court cases, but the facilities are not provided for, Your Honor, especially when it comes to child witnesses being presented, Your Honor. Under the law, there should be a provision wherein there is a holding room for these child witnesses, Your Honor, and then there should be a video conferencing in effect, Your Honor, wherein they do not see the parties involved. The child can just freely testify in an environment provided for the purpose, Your Honor.
May I know from any of our esteemed justices who have possibly handled the case involving a child victim, are there certain rules of court, sensitivities with regards to them, to handling such cases?
Yes po. Well, for one, I think the decision, Justice Fernando knows that there is a decision of the Supreme Court wherein the identity of parties in family court cases are not divulged in decisions already, Your Honor.
Justice Fernando.
Good morning, Your Honor. Pursuant to the People versus Cabalquinto case, the Supreme Court emphasized the need to protect the privacy of the minor and the victim, because you don't have to put the name of the victim. We put acronyms, AAA, BBB, and also some personal circumstances that would identify the victim. So if the mother would testify, we'll put BBB or CCC. And then
How about
for
the-
child
yeah, is she-
witnesses, there are some facilities that the court required. You have a television where the victim will not be confronted with the accused, and there is a holding area for the child witness also.
So ginagawan po natin ng paraan, maski hindi na-implement. Okay, thank you.
Yes, Your Honor. Likewise, out of the 7.462 billion that we are asking that be restored to our proposed budget, Your Honor, 4.4 billion will answer for deficiencies in our personal budget. Now, with respect to, may just present to you, Your Honor, the ratio of judges to population, and we do this just to at least give you an idea, or at least to present to you a picture on the kind of ratio that we have at present in the country when it comes to judges to population ratio. In Metro Manila, using the figures of Metro Manila, we have 281 regional trial courts and then 106 metropolitan trial courts. The population of Metro Manila is projected by 2015 to about 12 million, Your Honors. And if we use the ratio with respect to, insofar as the population is concerned, to our RTC courts, the ratio is 1 judge for every 43,000 individuals, Your Honor. If we use the population and compare it to our METSI judges, we have a ratio of 1 judge for every 115,000 population or residents, Your Honor. And if we use all the judges to and compare it to our population, Your Honor, in Metro Manila, the ratio is 1 to 31,000, Your Honor. So we're very much above the ideal ratio, Your Honor. That's why, and the reason why we're just illustrating this is to show that there lies some difficulty in disposing of cases, because there are cases that are being filed by so many individuals and only a few judges can address or handle them, Your Honor. Likewise, Your Honor, may I just present to you, based on the National Expenditure Program, the staffing summary of the entire judiciary, we have a total of 35,061 authorized positions, and then filled as of December 31, 2013 is about 28,000, 233 and unfilled positions of 6,828. So we have an average of about 20% vacancy, Your Honor. But actually, we have lesser figures, especially if we consider as of September, Your Honor, because on a monthly basis, we come up with so many number of positions being filled, because our selection and promotion board is regularly meeting to be able to address the need for vacant positions to be filled, especially in our lower courts. With respect to the MOE, Your Honor, the total amount that we are asking to be restored is 1,537 million, Your Honor. This is to answer, or at least fund the operational requirements of 100 newly created courts, the maintenance and rehabilitation of existing halls of justice, and of course the operating requirements of our lower courts, and of course of our Supreme Court and other appellate courts, Your Honors. For your information, Your Honor, if you use the 2014 figures, Your Honor, the 2014 GAA figures, Your Honor, the monthly allocation per court for MOE in the judiciary is 90,000 pesos, Your Honor. Had our proposed budget of 32.64 billion been considered, Your Honor, wherein we asked for about 3.4 billion in MOE, the average monthly allocation per court would have been 129 million. So, in effect, Your Honor, we're only asking for an increase of 39,000 per court, Your Honor.
May we recognize the Senate President? Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. And with the permission of the Senate President, may I proceed, Your Honor, as well? For the 2015 National Expenditure Program, Your Honor, the average MOE is 94,000 for our lower courts. So there is only an increase of 4,000, Your Honor, from the previous year. Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. Your Honor, if we consider the MOE being provided for every court on the average of 94,000 pesos, and comparing it to another agency of the same, which has the same 15-person personal complement, Your Honor, that particular agency actually for 2014 has an average monthly MOE of 2,869 pesos, Your Honor, and this was even increased to 2,917 in 2015. So there is an increase insofar as this agency is concerned of 48,000 per month in MOE. For our capital outlay, Your Honor, we are asking that the total amount of 3,379 million be considered to answer for first the IT-related items that we mentioned, which we consider to be of urgent, no? 350 million for the trial courts IT infrastructure program, 450 million for the nationwide connectivity, and 115 million for the IT equipment for the Judiciary Data Center. Likewise, that 3 billion, Your Honor, which was not considered in the meantime, would have defrayed what we need to fund the Cebu Hall of Justice, Your Honor, which recently, especially the panels of justice, could no longer be occupied at this point in time, and we had to transfer our courts to another facility which we are renting at the moment. 904 million for the judiciary to be responsible for the construction of 41 halls of justice on donated lots, and 954 million for building improvements and renovations of the Sandigan Bayan, the Court of Appeals, and the Court of Tax Appeals. Your Honor, we would like to at least inform you and present to you that the reforms that have been initiated in order to improve the adjudication of cases resulted in the increase in the disposition of cases from 2012. We have a total of 392,849 cases that have been disposed of. In 2013, this increased to 416,947. And we target by 2014 about 456,000 cases to be disposed of by the Supreme Court and the lower courts. For our appellate courts, Your Honors, our figures show that from 2013 to 2014, they have been disposing on appellate courts. The Court of Tax Appeals, the Sandigan Bayan, and the Court of Appeals have been disposing more cases than those that are coming in, Your Honor, or that are being filed. So we have more than 100% disposition or clearance rate, Your Honor. Your Honor, regarding the Justicia program, as we discussed earlier, this has helped insofar as our experience in Quezon City is concerned, reduce docket for all the courts that have been that have been involved in that program, Your Honor. And in fact, our figures show that for the past 1 year and a half, Your Honor, more than 9,282 cases have been disposed of, or about 28.85% reduction in the caseload of all of those 32 courts that were involved in the Justicia program since July of 2013 in Quezon City. So this shows a downward trend that, of course, that is very much welcome to us, Your Honor, because that is the intention of this program, to reduce the dockets of our courts. Likewise, Your Honor, I may just inform you that through the Justice Sector Coordinating Council, we were able to enter into an agreement with the Philippine National Police to be able to come up with what we refer to as the e-subpoena system, Your Honor. For your information, more than half of our caseloads, Your Honors, in our trial courts are criminal in nature, Your Honor. And this ranges from 60 to 80%. More than 60% insofar as our regional trial courts are concerned, and about 80% insofar as our municipal trial courts are concerned. These are basically criminal cases in nature, the cases that they're handling. And these criminal cases, practically all of these cases involve police witnesses, Your Honors. And that's the reason why we developed this e-subpoena, or at least came up with this program in the meantime in Quezon City, so to ensure the appearance of our police witnesses, Your Honor, so as to avoid further delay in the conduct of proceedings involving our criminal cases. So this resulted in a great increase in the appearances of our police witnesses. So before we end, Your Honor, our presentation, may we just give you a video a clip of automated hearings wherein there is the e-court system present, Your Honor.
Ilalabas ngayon dito kung Quezon City Hall, isosort out din nila yan. It will take them another week. So, pagdating ngayon ng, once na hihingi yan, matatanggap lang yung mga abogado niya, mga around 2 weeks or to 3 weeks as manifest by the council. Ngayon, with this automated hearing, wala na yan, natanggap na nila ngayon yun, notify na sila. At ang kagandahan, pag sinabi nila, Your Honor, may I request 5 days from today to submit our comment doon. 5 days na yan, din siya mag-i-intend from receipt pa, which will take them another 2 weeks. Kaya kung mapansin nyo kanina roon, danadalawa na yung setting ng vista kaya mabilis na buwan-buwan yun, may setting na sila. So nakikinapang yung mga abogado, kaya nagkakaroon ng for instance, yung preparation ng writ of execution, halimbawa, it will take you about a month to resolve yan. Once nakita and order yan, we can already resolve it in open court. Dahil final na yung judgment So, nare-receive na nila. So, bumibilis ngayon, ano ang effect noon? Mas mabilis ang asunto, mas mabilis ma-resolve, bumababa yung dapat na court. Like for instance dito, madalas sumako rito ng May. So, nung May pa lang, ang na-dispose namin because of automated hearing yan, mabilisan na ganyan, halos mga naka-20 cases sa uwi. Sunod-sunod naman, naka-50 based on sa records ng disposal namin. Ito yung mga records of disposal namin. Ayan. So, ito lahat yung April, 15, ayan, April. And then thereafter, ito ngayon yung Mayo. Mabilis ang disposal ngayon. Kasi nga, doon sa automated hearing kaya hanggang continuation pa, May din yan, continuation na May. June, ina nyo, tuloy-tuloy yan. So, hanggang July, 47, if you know, 47 cases yung na-resolve. Mabilis ngayon. So, yung security ng tao ngayon, nabubuhay yung tiwala sa justisya, mabilis ngayon At saka nakikita nila ang mga courts natin nagiging efficient. And then at the same time, mas maraming case na nare-resolve. So, mabilis ang turnover. And then at the same time, yung trust ng mga tao, especially the lawyers, the bench and the bar, nagkakaroon ng magandang heart. And then at the same time, yung mga lawyers, nagiging, naibabalik nila yung respeto sa husgado na sinasabi nila parating justice delayed is justice denied. Ano na nila, nabubura na sa isipan nila yun. Katulad kanina noon, as early as July pa yung April pa of last year yung motion nila, kami na niresolve ko in open court yung resolution. Tapos kami yung case. So, hawak na nila yung order, dadalhin na nila sa register of deeds. So, gano'n kabilis. And we are also planning, because of this justice project ng Supreme Court, yung judicial strengthening towards increased court effectiveness project na maging full ito, and at the same time yung mga matagaling cases like sum of money, yung cases na LRC, yung mga cases na correction of civil entry, kung pwede namin tapusin yan after ng presenta ng ebidensya dito sa court yun, may decision na agad kami doon na template para mabilis. So magiging maganda ang impact nito. So, here in Quezon City, I think dalawa lang kami ron, isang family at saka ako But ako, I'm manning already 2 courts implementing this automated hearing in branch 84 and branch 85. So, sana itong ganitong activities na ito, are already full blast because the party litigants here or the court user here in Quezon City are already very positive about it and gaining a lot of support and recognition na natutuwa sila sa resulta ng automated system natin. So, thank you very much for your time and your efforts for monitoring and documenting our trial here in Quezon City.
Your Honor, to recap that, Your Honor, the automated hearings refers to open court orders being received by the parties, on the day of the hearing itself, Your Honor. But we presented that to just highlight the fact that to be able to do that, to achieve that, Your Honor, we need IT facilities, Your Honor, and computers, because in the automated hearing system, the judge will be provided with the computer while conducting the hearing, and there are computers provided or given to two other staffs, the stenographer and another staff with the printer to print the order that was prepared during the hearing, Your Honor.
Is it provided for in next year's budget?
We are asking, Your Honor, for the infrastructure, Your Honor, in the amount of 350 million, Your Honor.
350?
Yes, Your
And
Honor.
it was deleted completely?
Yes, it's not included in the National Expenditure Program for 2015 insofar as the judiciary is concerned, Your Honor.
Senate President, I'll give you the floor in case you have questions. The presentation is done.
May I, if I may, Your Honor, I'll just summarize the request, Your Honor, because there are special provisions that we would like to put on record that we would want to be considered, Your Honor, by Your Honors and by this committee. So in summary, Your Honor, thank you, Your Honor. In summary, Your Honor, we are requesting that the total amount of 7.462 billion for personal services, 1.537 billion pesos for MOE, and 3.379 billion for capital outlay be included in the judiciary's budget. The capital outlay of 3.3 billion includes the 715 million that we're asking for our judiciary modernization program, or to fund as well our IT infrastructure needs, Your Honor. Finally, Your Honor, may we just request on the special provisions, Your Honor, provided in the National Expenditure Program for the consideration of this honorable committee, that special provision number 2 be reworded, Your Honor. Since last year, we've been asking that insofar as the special provision and the special allowance is concerned, that mention that this will cease to be granted, Your Honor, be not included in the special provision. And instead, Your Honor, may we ask that this, for the record, special provision number 2 be reworded as follows, and I quote, 2 special allowance, considering that the special allowance granted to justices, judges, and all other positions in the judiciary with the equivalent rank of justices of the Court of Appeals and judges of the Regional Trial Court under RA number 9227 have already been fully integrated into their salary increases as of June 1, 2012, the amount of 543,012,000 pesos corresponding to the special allowance of the judiciary component of their salary shall now be deposited with the National Treasury as income of the General Fund, pursuant to Section 44, Chapter 5, Book 6 of EO number 292, Series of 1987. Once deposited, the salary being received by the members of the judiciary shall be sourced and funded for the General Fund. Your Honor, these exact words appear in the 2014 GAA, Your Honor, except for the amount. The amount appearing in the 2014 GAA is about 541 million. The judiciary is open and welcome, actually, and is amenable to remit the total amount of 543,012,000 pesos, Your Honor, to the National Treasury insofar as the special allowance is concerned. And the other special provision, Your Honor, is special provision number 6, as appearing in the 2015 National Expenditure Program, Your Honor. This pertains to funding requirements for the filling of unfilled positions. Your Honor, in the previous years, this particular provision was deleted, Your Honor. In the 2014 GAA, this special provision number 6 does not appear. We are happy to inform Your Honors that Congress had been deleting this particular provision because it impinges on the fiscal autonomy of the Supreme Court. Special provision number 6, Your Honor. Funding requirements for the filling of unfilled positions, Your Honors, wherein any savings from the especially on the personal services, Your Honor, will be remitted back to the National Treasury, Your Honor. So we have been asking for its deletion, and we are happy to note, like I mentioned, Your Honor, that this actually is being deleted by Congress for the past several years already, Your Honor.
2014, it is there.
It is not in the 2014
no.
JA. It is deleted, Your Honor. It only
Okay.
appears in the 2015 NEP, Your Honor. That's why we're asking for its
So
deletion.
it will be deleted.
Yes, Your Honor. With that,
Before
Your
you
Honor,
proceed, it's asking me, where is the court administrator? Just for the record, where is he? Because you were the one who presented to me
Yes, Your Honor.
also when we had the agency briefing.
yes, Your Honor. The court administrator right now is in Korea on an official business, Your Honor. And likewise, for the purpose of presenting the budget of the judiciary, Your Honor, before this committee, this humble representation was designated to do so, Your Honor. Thank you. And with that, Your Honor, in the presence of Associate Justices Jose Perez, Associate Justice Bienvenido Reyes, the Presiding Justice of the Court of Appeals, Andres Reyes, the Presiding Justice of the Court of Tax Appeals, Roman del Rosario, Justices Fernando and Buser, and Justice De La Cruz of the Sandigan Bayan. We end our presentation for the 2015 budget of the judiciary. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you very much. Every year, do all of you come in full force like this?
Your Honor, this is to show Your Honor the importance being given by the judiciary insofar as its budget is concerned, Your Honor. And yes, Your Honor, this is something that is being done, Your Honor, on an annual basis.
Mr. Senate President, any questions?
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Yes, thank you very much. And I am going through all of this data. Just concentrating first on the budget. May I know what is the, can you give me a breakdown on the proposed increase of 7.2 billion on PS?
The
This was not provided for in
yes.
the NEP, no?
Yes,
Earlier asked.
yes, Your Honor. The 7.4 billion.
Is it 7.4 or 7.281?
7 point. Actually, the 7.2 billion, Your Honor, all in all together with some items amounting to about 200 million. But 7.2 billion will defray or at least fund first, Your Honor, new positions that will be created, that we're proposing to be created. One is with respect to the family courts, Your Honor, because under RA 8369, family courts should be created in 172 provinces and cities nationwide, Your Honor. And
these are new positions?
Yes, new positions, Your Honor.
All of this?
Yeah, yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor. All of pertaining to 3 billion, Your Honor. 3 billion first for new positions.
Do you have a breakdown in writing of this 7.281? The reason I'm asking this is, you know, we unlike other agencies where the Congress would have the authority to reduce the budget for the following year, in the case of the judiciary, we constitutionally, we cannot reduce the budget. And especially where it involves PS, because this is a recurring expense. In other words, once you hire somebody forever, you know, you have to fund every year. Well, that is why there is, I'm raising this question, what is the 7.2 billion? Because next year, we will have to fund again 7.2 billion if we concede this. So can I have a breakdown of this quite substantial amount? 7.2 billion is, you know, out of the, this is 50% increase of the proposal under the National Expenditure Program. The proposal is in the National Expenditure Program is 15 billion. You propose to increase it by 7.2. That is almost a 50% increase.
Yes.
So that is why, can you give us a breakdown of what this 7.281 is, given the fact that once we approve this, we cannot reduce this?
Yes. Respectfully, Your Honor, I would like to inform you that I have a breakdown, Your Honor, with me right now. I can present it to Your Honor.
No,
I
can you give me the highlights of what
yes,
is
Your Honor. 3.06 billion to fund the requirements for the payment of fringe benefits of all judiciary officials and personnel, Your Honor. 3.05
Fringe
3.
benefits, what
Yes,
are those? Okay.
And then creation of new positions, 3.05 billion, Your Honor.
Where is the fringe benefit there?
Your Honor, I have it. It's
Okay,
not
can you
in
give
the.
it? Can you give? Show?
Yes, Your Honor, we can provide you with. Can we provide him a copy? Ayan. Yes, Your Honor, we are going. Hindi, pero ito yung ano niya. Ito. Yes, I know. Can we give him... Bibigyan niyo ba to? Ito. Ito lang. Kasi itong binigay niya. Joy, pwede natin bigay. Can we give this to, ano? Can we give him a copy? Oh, yan, pakibigay. Your Honor, pardon me for that, Your Honor, because I was just asking this stuff from the OCJ,
Sure.
if we can.
So we
Sorry
can
po.
suspend it for a while.
Your Honor, if I may, while they're giving you the copy, Your Honor, like
I would prefer looking at the notes while you are testifying.
Yeah, we submit, Your Honor.
Okay, please proceed. I have it already.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. So, for the personal services, we are asking to be restored in our budget, Your Honor, of 7.28 billion, Your Honor. 3.06 billion is for the payment of fringe benefits of all judiciary officials and personnel.
What is this fringe benefits, if we may know? So these are not new positions. These are fringe benefits of existing personnel.
Yes, Your Honor.
That's 3 billion out of 7.2 billion. What are these fringe benefits?
With all due respect, Your Honor, I hope you don't mind. I'm usually given only the total amount, but I am getting already the details of the fringe benefits, Your Honor.
Because you're presenting it, and you should be prepared for this question. Yeah. So I would like, for the record,
yes,
I would like to know what are these fringe benefits, because this constitutes almost one half of the of what you're asking for. You're asking for 7.2 billion. These already the fringe benefits is for 3 billion, and these are, in other words, for existing employees, not new employees.
Are these new benefits, or was this carried in last year's budget and this year's budget? Bagong benepisyo for 2015, or is it carried in the present budget of 2014 in the previous year?
Not part of the 2014 budget, Your Honor. So these are
That's
additional benefits.
That's precisely our point.
Yes,
the
yes, Your Honor.
moment that's why we wanted to examine, not because we do not want to give it, but just because once we approve this will be a recurring expense, because we cannot reduce the budget of the judiciary
Yes,
for
Your
the
Honor.
following year. So again, you have proposed requirement for the payment of fringe benefits of all judicial officers and personnel for a total amount of 3,060,095,000 for fringe benefits. May we know what are these fringe benefits?
The items for these fringe benefits, Your Honor, pertain to employee development assistance, Your Honor, medical benefits, economic assistance, and rice subsidy allowances, Your Honors.
These are bonuses given these names or what?
Yes, in effect, Your Honor.
How many months bonus are you asking for?
Actually, in the judiciary, Your Honor, we only have up to the 13th month pay, and then...
I'm talking about the fringe
this,
benefits here.
Sir, yung 1 month salary.
1 month salary. Okay. So 1 month salary annually, Your Honor, additional benefits are being asked under that account, Your Honor, fringe benefits.
What else other than that? I'm sorry I have to ask all these questions because we're in a budget hearing. Don't you, who is the lady?
Yes po. We, three. Honor, may I?
Mr. Senate President,
Yes, may we recognize Justice Perez? Yes, please.
I was given this breakdown, and this is for the lower courts, Your Honor. Rice subsidy allowance at 1,500 a month. Monetization,
Do it slowly, please, Justice.
Opo.
Rice allowance,
1,500 a month.
1.5 per month, all right?
Monetization of 10 days earned leave credits. I understand this for 1 year? For 1 year. 10 days in a year. Then medical benefits.
How much would that be, sir? It's 12.
That would depend, sir, Your Honor, on the salary of the person concerned.
Mhm. So this is 10 days per year.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Then medical benefits at 10,000 a year.
Medical benefits.
And then medical cash benefit for one dependent at 125 a month.
Okay. Medical benefits for the dependents.
One dependent, Your Honor.
Yeah, okay.
Then anniversary bonus to commemorate the foundation day of the Supreme Court.
Okay, anniversary bonus.
And then the
1 month din ito?
amount, magkano? It will depend. Ano ba siya? Not 1 month, Your Honor. The amount varies as dictated by the available funds, Your Honor. Sometimes the anniversary bonus is 20,000 per employee. It varies 2025, Your Honor.
So that is not presently provided?
Not yet in the GAA, Your
But
Honor.
no, but they're already being granted.
From the savings, Your Honor, if I
Oh,
understand it
okay.
correctly.
So there's an anniversary bonus of about roughly 20,000, which is from the savings.
Of the Supreme Court, right?
Yes, yes. And now you want this institutionalized in the
Yes,
budget.
Your Honor.
And what happens now to those savings, if I may ask?
That would go into the maintenance, Your Honor. And, of course, to the other expenses that may arise from time to time.
Okay. Anything else, Justice?
And then there's the Christmas cash gift.
Okay. Christmas cash gift.
Again, the amount varies in accordance with or as dictated by available funds.
And that's also being done traditionally every year?
Yes, Your Honor, from savings again.
From savings. And last year, for example, how much total cash gift was granted in total amount?
Lower court. 10,000 po, Your Honor, for the lower courts.
Hindi ko naman sinasabing sa iyo eh. Sa Supreme Court.
Baka may taksa, Your Honor.
Baka matax ka. Sige. Christmas gift of 10,000. This is from savings.
Yes, Your Honor. And then, last,
okay, meron pa?
emergency economic assistance.
Emergency
Depending on the emergency, Your Honor.
economic assistance. And this is also given
Again, as dictated by the availability of funds.
Like last year or this year, were there emergency economic assistance granted?
There were several emergencies last year, and I was informed that our lower court personnel were given an amount equivalent to 1 month's salary.
For the whole year, or?
For the whole year, Your Honor.
1 month.
May I just clarify, Your Honor, that insofar as monetization is concerned, that is taken from the leave credits of the individual concerned. In other words,
Yes.
you monetize 10 days, 10 days is removed from your accumulated leave.
We understand that, yes. Now, the rice allowance, is this presently granted
Yes, Your Honor.
from savings?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And the monetization is also from savings?
Yes, sir. That would be from,
Ay,
I would
okay.
understand from personal services. Is that correct? Because it's leave credits, eh? So savings also, savings
Savings,
also.
because the leave credit are generally not monetized, and you accrue it, and at the
Yes.
time that you sever your employment with the court, you get the lump sum.
Yes.
But in this particular case, you monetize on an annual basis, 10 years. This is also from savings.
Yes, Your Honor.
And the medical benefits also from savings?
Yes, Your Honor. All these are from savings. Your
I
Honor.
see. And so how much would all this total, which are drawn from savings, let's say in 2013?
Kahit isang tao lang. Well, they are not ready, Your Honor. I am, but they are not.
Okay. Hindi, off the record, roommate ko kasi ito eh. Kaya kayang-kaya niya akong lokohin eh. Off the record. So, you would not have this. Now, so in short, you are asking for 3 billion, 60 million in order to institutionalize all of these benefits, to put it carefully. Please, on the record, Justice.
Yes, Your Honor.
And after that, you will have savings again, because all of these are drawn from savings.
Probably, Your Honor. In all probability, Your Honor.
Yes, and that would also, since you will maintain the benefits, will that mean additional rice allowance, monetization?
I think there will be a little difficulty getting it after this is already funded from the General Appropriations Act. Because it will be on a regular basis. So I think that the employees' clamor for it will be lessened a great deal.
I also run an institution, so I raise doubts about your statement, Mr. Justice. Anyway,
Yes, Your Honor.
okay. We just wanted that on the record and be clarified. Now, these savings would be sourced from funded but unorganized courts. Is that correct?
But, Your Honor, some savings are generated from those positions that remain vacant, Your Honor, or are in field positions, Your Honor.
From unfilled positions.
Yes, Your Honor.
Would unfilled positions include unorganized but funded courts?
Yes, Your Honor.
And how many would that be? Unorganized but funded lower courts.
Based on our data, Your Honor, we have 54 funded but still unorganized courts, Your Honor.
54 funded but
unorganized. Yes, Your Honor.
And how much would that savings from those funded?
More or less on an average, Your Honor, because every now and then these positions are being filled. Like, for
No,
example,
I'm not talking about positions which are vacant and filled. I am talking about funded but unorganized courts.
Yes.
Because there's a difference, you will agree with me, Mr.
Yeah.
Deputy Court
Yes, Your
Administrator, between an
Yes,
existing
average.
organized court, but there are vacancies, and totally unorganized but funded
Yes.
courts.
On the average, Your Honor, from previous years, the average is about 1.5 to 1.7 billion, Your Honor, in savings.
1.5 to 1.7 billion
Yes, Your Honor.
in savings.
Yes, Your Honor.
And this comes from the 54 unorganized but funded courts.
And yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor. And including unfilled positions, Your Honor.
So 1.5 for all kinds of vacancies, whether in existing vacancies or vacancies which are due to unorganized but funded courts.
Yes, whether organized or unorganized, Your Honor.
And there are 54 funded but
unorganized courts.
unorganized courts.
Yes, Your
Lower
Honor.
courts, you know?
Yes, Your Honor. But at present, the JBC had already processed several of these unorganized courts, Your Honor, which includes some courts in Butuan City. For one, Your Honor, there are 2 courts there that are being organized already, and a number of courts already wherein publications, notice for application have already been published, Your Honor.
Just to summarize, you have savings of roughly 1.5 to 1.7 billion. Is that a correct recollection?
Yes, Your Honor. The
Savings of 1.5 to 1.7 billion per year, which are used basically, which funds the present fringe benefits which you want to institutionalize.
Yes, Your Honor,
Yeah.
yes.
And therefore, you will continue to have savings of about 1.5 to 1.7 billion a year.
But like I said, Your Honor, it's being reduced since positions are being continuously filled up, Your Honor, and courts are being organized already.
Why are we asking for 2.7 billion as additional funding for new positions when in fact you have quite a number of vacant positions?
Well, for one, Your Honor, respectfully, if you may notice, the savings is not even enough to answer for what we're asking for as additional budget to answer for this benefits, Your Honor. And likewise, because even if there are some unfilled positions, Your Honors, especially in judges positions, Your Honor, there are other judges who are handling that in an acting capacity, and they are given incentives, Your Honors, and these incentives are being taken from these savings from the unfunded, from the unorganized courts.
Well, I am just the committee would have to ultimately look into this. I mean, decide on this request, given all of these facts that were drawing during these hearings. Now, if we grant the 7.2 billion for PS, that would have to be carried over again in the next year and for the rest of for every year.
Yeah.
It's an additional 7.2 billion.
Yes, Your Honor, because it's under the personnel services items. Your Honor.
Yes, yes. Now, talking about increases in the PS, there is also a request from the Court of Appeals on PS of 13 million. Is this part of the PS that you're requesting? No, it is not, no? Is it?
It is, Your Honor. It is.
It is part?
13 million?
There is a request that I received from the Court of Appeals for additional 81.5 million. The question that we raise is this 81 8.5 million part of the requested 12.379 billion?
I think they added up all the requests into one request. So it's part of their presentation
Yes, this is part of their presentation.
of the Supreme Court.
Okay. Huh?
If I may, Your Honor,
Please.
the additional personal services for the Court of Appeals is 225 million, Your Honor. So that's included, Your Honor, that particular
200, how much?
225.
225
for Prince
billion.
benefits, for Prince benefits.
No, for PS.
Yes, Your Honor, because that's part of PS, Your Honor, the additional fringe benefits. And then for new positions, Your Honor, the budget being asked is 29 million, Your Honor. And then for deficiencies in pension and survivorship benefits, it's 52 billion.
You better review it well, because here I have here in front of me a letter dated September 23. The PS requested by the Court of Appeals is 13,153,752. You're saying that the requirements for Prince benefits, 225.2 million plus creation of new positions, 29 million, or a total of about 350 million, as against 13 million of the letter here of the Chief of Presiding Justice Reyes.
Yes.
May we know?
May I just refer you, Your Honors, respectfully to the breakdown, Your Honor, of the 7.2 billion additional personal services that we're asking. And it is reflected there, Your Honor, that the amount of 225 million is being requested for the payment of fringe benefits for the CE.
I understand
Yes,
that.
ma'am.
What I am just saying is what the Court of Appeals has requested is 13.1 million. All I'm asking is if is your 225 here, 225.2 million plus another 29 million, part of this, or this 13 million part of that, or is that in addition to this?
But the way I was told, Your Honor, that's part of the total request in personal services, Your Honor.
Yes.
We requested for 29 million in new personal services, Mr. President. And in our latest letter, we, as in reconsideration, we were just asking for a lesser number of new personnel as an appeal, because the DBM has already taken off the entire request. So we're just asking on a reconsideration, from 29 million, it goes down to 13 million plus.
So instead of 29 million that I see here, I can't understand this anymore.
The budget request was 29 million submitted to the DBM, but now on MR, after passing through Congress, we are just asking as an appeal to give us
13.
13 million.
Not
as,
29.
Not 29 anymore, because
That's what I was trying to figure
yes.
out. Okay. Now, what about this 225 million under PS also that is being proposed here? Is this also reconsidered or what?
We're asking for reconsideration, Your Honor. The breakdown would essentially be the same as the breakdown already given by Justice Perez, would involve monetization,
I'm just
additional...
talking about the Court of Appeals.
Yes, Your Honor, regarding the Court of Appeals. Respectfully, Your Honor, that would involve the same item.
I know. What I'm trying to clarify is this 225 million is not found in the letter request of the Court of Appeals.
Yes, Your Honor. May I just respectfully mention, Your Honor, that the request was made after the National Expenditure Program had already been submitted to Congress, Your Honor, and this amount was already deleted. And there was no additional motion for reconsideration done by the Court of Appeals.
This is not a court, so, all I'm just asking is a clarification so that when the committee submits its report, we will understand what is being requested. I will repeat, in your presentation, Mr. Villanueva, you said that there is a requirement under PS of 7.2 billion, an additional request of 7.2 billion, which includes 225.2 million for the CA.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, under I am in receipt of a letter of Presiding Justice Reyes saying that the recommended increase of 65.4 million under PS by the National Expenditure Program be increased by 13.1 million for personal services. Now, you have presented to us here a proposal that includes CA a portion of 225.2 million. All that I am asking for clarity, and I'm not the one to decide this, but so that when the committee submits its report, is the 13 million part of the 225, part of the 29, or in addition to these two items?
Yes.
That's all we're asking.
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, the 13 million subject of the letter of Presiding Justice Reyes is actually a lesser amount from the 29 million being asked for the new positions that they're asking to be funded, Your Honor. So they ask for a reconsideration that if they will be given a budget for newly created positions instead of 29 million, that they at least be given the amount of 13 million by way of a motion for reconsideration. And with respect to the 225 million, Your Honor, that was not included in their letter, Your Honor. But that is an item included in the 7.2 billion that we are asking to be included in our budget.
Maybe the Court of Appeals is already happy with their present bonuses, kaya hindi na sila humingi dito.
Hindi na rin justice.
Happy ka na siguro, Andy, sa yung present bonus, kaya hindi mo na sinama doon sa 225.2 million na additional increase na hinihingi ng... Anyway, I just wanted to clarify that. Now, I'm interested in this hall of justice. First, on the first issue, why do you want to build the halls of justice? I mean, you know, I think the policy of the executive is to give the activity in accordance with the expertise of a particular department. I would like to think that the DPWH has the expertise in making buildings. I was wondering why you would want to bring it to the Supreme Court and have the Supreme Court build these halls of justice. Ano ba ang problema sa ngayon? Because I built halls of justice all over the Philippines. And I had, it was the DOJ, as Secretary of the Department of Justice, I worked closely with the DPWH. They were the ones who were bidding. They were just doing the job. And most recently, you know, I have seen how the Department of Public Works execute public works projects, including buildings. So I don't know why you would want to bring it back to the Supreme Court.
Thank you, Your Honor. First, Your Honor, our experience insofar as the implementation of the JUSIP is concerned is the instances wherein the Department of Justice was not able to secure a budget for the construction of halls of justice. In fact, for 2011 and 2013, there is no JUSIP budget provided, Your Honor. Second, Your Honor.
But that is not
yes.
because it is not because the JUSIP is located or is placed under the Department of Justice. Is that a reason that no budget is granted? There must be other reasons. There must be some
Yes.
reasons, but that's not reason enough for that's not a valid
Yes, Your Honor.
rationalization.
Likewise, Your Honor, we have an Office on Halls of Justice, Your Honor, which has the expert. We have professionals employed already, architects, engineers, Your Honors, and our reading of the JUSIP program is that actually the DOJ entered into a memorandum of agreement with the DPWH, and the DPWH just conducts the bidding for the constructions of the Halls of Justice.
Well, precisely because the DPWH has the expertise in construction.
We submit, Your Honor, but many of these sometimes constructions are actually being bidded out to private firms, Your Honor, eventually, not being constructed by the DPWH itself.
Of course, the DPWH will not have will always bid this out. That's the procedure. Because hindi naman ang DPWH gumagawa nito. Talagang binibid out ito. But they have the expertise to supervise the contractors, to conduct the bidding, etc. But anyway, you have proposed the repair and rehabilitation of halls of justice in regions 6, 7, and 8. May we know what are these halls of justice? This is the proposed.
These are the Yolanda-affected halls of justice, Your Honor. Your Honor, in Tacloban, in Leyte, in
Tacloban Leyte and Tacloban Leyte, yes.
In Ormoc. Basically, many of those identified, Your Honor, by the committee of Senator Lacson, Your Honor.
Can we have it? Can.
Yes, Your Honor,
We will submit it, but likewise, this matter had already been reported to the committee of or to the office of Senator Lacson, Your Honor, because we are coordinating with him.
Kami ang gumagawa ng budget eh.
Yes, that's why we are.
Your Honor, so you tell us which halls of justice are being repaired. You can tell.
We are submitting the list, Your Honor. We are submitting.
That's a very simple list.
Yes,
there are only 3 areas. I would want to see which halls of justice you are repairing and rehabilitating.
Mr. Senate President, I believe, going back to the halls of justice, I believe what the Senate President wanted to understand was what would be the difference if the halls of justice construction, the budget would be lodged under the Supreme Court, under the Judiciary, rather than the present setup of the Department of Justice, whether you would have a department similar to the Public Works Department that would be competent to execute this, or should we leave it at that and let the DPWH do it while the budget is lodged under the DOJ budget? Because if we so decide, we can actually transfer it as long as the Supreme Court would issue that resolution, no? That is required. But it would really depend on how important is it that the judiciary handles these funds.
Yes, there are laws, Your Honors, creating courts that sometimes do not provide for the court facilities, Your Honors. That's why, and then we have experience also as well that during the implementation of the JUSIP program, there were halls of justice constructed in areas which is not the seat of the courts. For example, in.
But isn't this can this not be resolved by better coordination rather than hiring a whole bureaucracy to build halls of justice and develop the expertise?
Your Honor,
what is important is that the hall of justice is built properly.
Yes, Your Honor.
Rather than having the fund move from one department to the other and creating new bureaucracies in the transferees agency.
May I just submit, Your Honor, that, well, of course, we will, that is something that we will look into and consider. Actually, we will admit that is a correct statement, Your Honor. But we also have experience regarding the turnover of all of the documents, regarding the ownership of these halls of justice, coming from the DOJ because of the JUSIP program. Because usually, Your Honor.
But that is a matter that can easily be handled. Turnover of documents, hindi naman problema yun eh. Administrative lang yan. Korte Suprema kayo eh. Hindi, ano ba yung hingiin nyo sa Department of Justice yung mga papeles na kailangan dito?
We submit, Your Honor.
Now, can I go back? Okay, if with the permission of the chair, can I have again the halls of justice in 6, 7, and 8, which you are actually asking for appropriation? Because, you know, this is important. Because I myself asked that the Hall of Justice in Cebu be funded. I do not know if it is here.
You are asking, Your Honor, about Region 6, 7, and 8, Your Honor.
That's what I see here. Repair and rehabilitation of halls of justice in regions 6, 7, and 8. From your own submission, this is 219,476. The data I'm asking for is which halls of justice are these?
May we just be allowed, Your Honor, to submit to the committee those lists, Your Honor? And we apologize because we were not able to come up with the list.
At huwag mo sabihin nandun ang listahan kay Lacson,
Hindi pa, and I mean that was that what we discussed, but the list we will submit, Your Honor. We will submit.
Because just while we are on the topic, I had the whole of justice in Iloilo repaired.
Yes, Your Honor. We are very grateful, Your Honor, for your assistance, Your Honor. Thank you so much.
And none of the funds came from the Supreme Court.
Yes, we confirm that, Your Honor. We
confirm that, right?
Yes, Your Honor. We confirm that.
It was in the, I think, I can't remember exactly, but certainly it was DPWH who executed it.
Yes, Your Honor. They conducted the bidding and engaged the services of a private contractor, Your
That's
Honor.
correct.
Yes,
And have
Your
you seen the whole of justice there now?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what do you think?
That's why we're very grateful to Your Honor because it is better now than it was before it was hit by the earthquake, Your Honor, in February of 2012.
And is it befit of a whole of justice?
Definitely, Your Honor.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you know you cannot even provide funds for a single elevator there.
We have already engaged the services of a maintenance provider, Your Honor, because the maintenance provider is subject to bidding, Your Honor, but we have already engaged the
Alam mo why I'm bringing this out? You know that elevator, to repair it only cost 30,000, and we could not repair it because it is coming from the Supreme Court, and the whole repair cost I think about 70 million.
Yes, Your Honor. Actually, we have given priority to that particular matter, Your Honor. When we explained it to the judges as well, that we have been attending to that even before they transferred and returned to the present Hall of Justice, Your Honor.
None of, you know, the Supreme Court, that was not from the Supreme Court budget, and, you know, unfortunately, Mr. Administrator, I didn't see any officers from the court administrator's office that supervised or even took a look at that repair.
May I just at least a disclosure, Your Honor, that our Office and Source of Justice actually monitored, and at the same time, Your Honor, personally, this representation was frequently flying to Iloilo, Your Honor, to confer with our judges on the matter. And in fact, I was able to get some of the priority items that they needed even before they were supposed to transfer there, Your Honor.
But anyway, so that's why I was looking at this. You were saying Region 6 as a repair, and that was fully repaired for us, if I recall correctly, 70 or more million. What about the Cebu? What happened to the Cebu Hall of Justice? Where is that?
Yes, Your Honor, that in Cebu City, what happened was it was hit and damaged heavily by the earthquake that hit Region 7, Your Honor. So we had to transfer all the courts, all the lower courts, the first and level courts there, from the Palace of Justice to a building we refer to as the Kimonda Building, Your Honor. And we're working on the repair or construction, we might have to demolish the entire building depending on what the consultant will say, Your Honor, because it was heavily damaged.
When was that damaged?
That was damaged in 2013, Your Honor.
No.
13, Your Honor, when Bohol and Cebu was hit, Your Honor, with the intensity 6.8 earthquake.
Yeah, it has been over a year.
Yes, yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
And up to this point, you cannot decide what to do with it.
Your Honor,
You're still planning?
No, Your Honor, but we have engaged the services actually of a consultant, Your Honor, to determine the scope of work that is needed because of the extensive damage that happened there, Your Honor.
But there are also talks there that there is an available lot being given by the provincial government where a new Hall of Justice will be built and abandon this old one. The problem is no decision could be made. It has been a year, and no decision has been made as to what to do, whether to repair the old building or to have a new building.
Actually, Your Honor, a decision more or less had already been arrived at, Your Honor, to construct a Hall of Justice complex in the donated land, Your Honor. That's why we're asking for a capital outlay of 500 million for that, Your Honor.
That is why you change your statement that there's an ongoing study whether or not whether the old building can still be used. So is there a decision now?
Yes.
What is the decision?
The decision is to construct a Hall of Justice complex in Cebu, and then we're asking for 500 million for that, Your Honor. So you said you just engaged consultants. What is this consultant for? Just to help us with respect to the design, the scope of work, Your Honor. You just said that you hired consultants to check on whether or not you can still occupy that old building. Yes, Your Honor. May I just state, Your Honor, that the reason why I'm mentioning about a consultant, Your Honor, because usually before, especially a project like that involving hundreds of millions of pesos, Your Honor, we don't immediately, there is a decision to come up with a Hall of Justice complex in Cebu, Your Honor, to house our courts there. Normally, we have to check into the scope of work and the utilization of the property that was given to us, Your Honor. That's the only thing that we're looking at. But the decision is to come up with a Hall of Justice complex. That's why in our proposal, Your Honor, we're asking for 500 million for that Cebu Hall of Justice complex. Bakit? Meron na ba kayong program of work? Meron na ba kayong design of the building, how it will look like? An estimate of how much it will cost? Wala pa. We have a budgetary estimate based on per square meter computation, Your Honor. And is then, yes, Your Honor. Yeah, is that in writing somewhere? Where did the 500 million come from? Yeah, may I ask that Attorney Ignacio be recognized only for that particular point? Yes. Thank you, Your Honor.
Good morning, Your Honors. I'm the Chief of Office of the Office on Halls of Justice. When the Cebu City was structurally had suffered structural integrity problems, our office was tasked to determine options A and options B, one of which is the construction. So we have existing 30 courts.
Construction of a new Hall of Justice.
Yes, Your Honor. Option A, retrofit if the building will be retrofitted. Option B, construction, relocate to another site. We have 30 courts existing, and then by virtue of Republic Act 10750, there were 7 additional courts in Cebu. So our budgetary cost estimate with DOJ offices amounts to 750 plus million because we're anticipating provisions for these 37 courts. Without the DOJ, option B, it's gonna cost 500 plus million, Your Honor, and we're ready to present it. It was arrived at by determining the minimum space per square meter multiplied by the per square meter basis, Your Honor.
And So the 500 million is embedded somewhere here?
Yes, it's 500 million we propose to be included in our budget, Your Honor, of 3.3 out of the 3 billion capital outlay that we're asking for.
Part of the 3.3?
Yes, Your Honor. I think it's part of the capital outlay request of the Supreme Court in anticipation of the impact of on the adjudicative as regards because the ideal site they're in now is just temporary and it's not an ideal site, Your Honor.
So you're saying there's been a decision to move to that lot offered by the provincial government? I just want to know.
Because I think one time we met with Governor Davide. We were talking about the possibility of relocating if in case the cost would be more than substantial in constructing, because in retrofitting sometimes it's the budget becomes bigger than construction, Your Honor.
So what is the decision at this point? Have you determined whether retrofitting is more expensive and therefore you build a new building, or is retrofitting much less expensive and therefore you would remain in your present building with retrofitting?
I think with the inclusion, Your Honor, of the 500 million, the direction is towards the construction at a new site, Your Honor.
The direction is towards the construction?
Yes, I think the decision, Your Honor, is towards the construction of the so-called judicial complex, Your Honor, at a new site.
And 500 million is the estimate?
Option A, if with the DOJ offices, it's going to cost more because of the POW,
the
prosecutor's office, and the PPO, Parole and Probation Office, Your Honor. I think the budgetary cost estimate is more than 700 plus million. Vis-a-vis another option without the DOJ, it's going to be 500.
So where will we house the DOJ people who is presently in the Hall of Justice?
If the Congress would support the project, Your Honor, the ideal really is to peg it at the 700 plus, Your Honor, million, so that the DOJ, all the players in the criminal justice system will just be housed in one complex, Your Honor.
Yeah, by coincidence, that 500 million figure came from me, and so that is also your estimate.
If you want, we can give you a budget.
Actually, our estimated figure is 564 million, Your Honor.
So talagang marunong na ako mag-estimate kasi galing sa akin yung 500 billion na yun. It was, you know, what I was telling the people in Cebu, and this was early part of third quarter or second quarter of this year, or third quarter. I was telling them that you already make a decision what to do, because so that you can already plan and we can already provide for a budget immediately and execute it in January. Unfortunately, you know, the people, they could not decide what to do. It's already October, and up to this point, you are still trying to figure out whether to retrofit your old building or have a new site. And that is why it is up to this point, from the way you sound, Deputy Administrator Villanueva and Attorney Ignacio, you are not yet certain, you have not really made a clear decision as to where to go. And you ask for 500 million and you say that this is the amount necessary. As I said, you know, I was the one who suggested that amount.
May I just submit, Your Honor, with the request of 500 million in capital outlay. At least the program right now is to build the Hall of Justice Cebu complex, Your Honor. And like I said, Your Honor, the actual estimate right now that we have, because we're working towards that already, is 564 million, actually, what is needed.
You know, because if you made decisions early enough, you could already start the bidding process, and if the budget is approved, then you bid it out in January. Right now, I cannot see how we can, that the timetable can be followed.
Your Honor, respectfully, I have to submit, Your Honor, that we cannot conduct a bidding until and unless we have available funds.
I am not saying that you conduct a bidding. I said you prepare so that all the documentation, all the notices, the pre-bidding work can be done, and
Yes, Your Honor.
conduct the bidding when the budget is approved.
Yes, Your Honor. We submit, Your Honor.
All right. What are the other capital outlay expenses that you are proposing as an increase? Right now, you have a CO of 400 million. You would want an additional 3.3 billion, or this is almost 10 times more than the NEP budget. Your proposal is 3.3 as against the NEP of 400 million.
Yes, Your Honor.
May we know when we have the breakdown of the CO?
Yes, Your Honor. With respect to the capital outlay of 3.3, the total amount that we're asking to be included in our budget, Your Honor. For the Supreme Court and lower courts, we're asking for 2.4 million.
I'm not asking for the amounts. I'm asking what are these capital outlay,
Yes,
what are
Your
the
Honor.
projects that you're going to fund out of this?
Yes, first mentioned already for the Cebu Hall of Justice, Your Honor, 500 million, and then the improvement of our PILJA training center in Tagaytay. Likewise, we're asking for infrastructure. IT infrastructure, Your Honor, particularly computers, Your Honor, to fund our nationwide connectivity, the rollout of our e-court systems, Your Honor. And likewise, we're asking for budget with respect to basic equipment and fixture for the lower courts. For the Sandigan Bayan, we're asking for funding for the construction of the living quarters of some of those in Baguio City, Your Honor. Procurement of renovation of the 5th floor and other Sandigan Bayan offices, Your Honor. For the Court of Appeals, we're asking for the construction of a 5-story building in its present site, the renovation of various Court of Appeals offices,
How much is that?
improvement of the cottages in Baguio, Your Honor, of the CA, and then Cebu and Cagayan de Oro. And for the Court of Tax Appeals, Your Honor, the purchase of 1,000 square meter lot to house the CTA Baguio cottages, Your Honor.
Can we have this in breakdown?
Yes, Your Honor. We have.
Is it part of it?
Yes, that's part. The second page, Your Honor.
Sorry.
The second page, Your Honor.
The second page. Here, CO.
Yes, Your Honor.
How much is the proposed increase? 3.7?
3.3 billion, Your Honor, additional.
3.3.
Yes, 3.
Okay, because the 400 is there. Now, again, the Court of Appeals, Justice Reyes said capital outlay of 38.4 million. Is this part of the 601 or on top of the 600?
I think that is part of the 601,
Part
Your
of
Honor.
601. But please,
It's a appeal letter, so we have reduced what we are asking for.
From 600 to 38.
For the court appeals,
Yeah, the Court of Appeals here, it says...
yes,
Huh?
yes, sir.
The difference that you're asking for in the Court of Appeals, I'm sorry, this is the total proposed budget, no? What is the capital outlay for the Court of Appeals?
The construction of a 5-story building, Your Honor.
Is
in the
that
present
601 million?
That's 163 million, Your Honor.
Nasaan ba yung 163? Hindi ko makita rito. Is that here?
Yes, Your Honor. It's part of the breakdown, Your Honor, of for 601 million, the total.
Ito.
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm sorry. Now, so, ito pala, sorry, CA. Ito bang 38.4 na hinihingi ni Justice Reyes, kasama ba, nasa loob ba ito ng 601 or is it 601 plus 38.4?
I believe it is included, Your Honor. So they just reduce it, Your Honor, by way of reconsideration because I think the letter was sent
Reduce it
out.
to what?
Because I think the letter was sent after we had hearing in the lower house, Your Honor.
So may I get it from the presiding justice himself?
Yes. Initially, we requested for a bigger amount.
601?
Yes, but to equate to equality, actuality, we're just happy if what we requested,
which is 38.4?
will be given. Yes.
So
Mr.
it is 38.4, not 601 million.
Yes, because in the DBM Congress hearing, it's already been slashed to none. So we're asking for a reconsideration of that DBM
All right.
decision.
Just for the record. Well, that's why I was asking you. You know, I am looking at two documents with two different figures. Now the proponent, the Court of Appeals presiding justice, says instead of 601, we only need 38.4 million.
Yes, Your Honor. The 601 is the original request, Your Honor, which was not included.
Okay.
And then after deliberations before the House of Representatives, the Committee on Appropriations, a subsequent letter was sent by the Honorable Presiding Justice,
So why are
and
you
then gave priority to a capital outlay amounting to about 38 million, Your Honor.
So why are you still, because my impression is that you are reinstating everything, notwithstanding the letter of the Court of Appeals.
Yes, sir. May I submit, Your Honor, that this representation is presenting the budget for the entire judiciary, Your Honor, and this is the original budget that was submitted by the Office of the Chief Justice, Your Honor, before the Department of Budget and Management, Your Honor.
You presented here a chart which indicates that your share of the annual budget is only 5.06%. Has only an increase of 5.06%.
Yes, Your Honor.
Versus the annual, versus the growth in the annual budget of the entire government of 15%.
Yes, Your Honor.
What is the amount that the judiciary is entitled to off budget, meaning those which do not go into the General Appropriations Act? What is the budget?
Your Honor is referring to the SADS and JDF
That's correct, yes.
funds.
Yes.
Our
What is
collection.
the annual collection of these two funds?
Yes, Your Honor. The average collection, Your Honor, for the JDF is about 1 billion, Your Honor, and with respect to the SADS, the same, practically the same amount, Your Honor, of 1 billion as well.
So additional of 2 billion.
Yes, Your Honor.
So that's roughly 10% more of your present budget, present, and I'm sorry, that's 10% in addition to the 2015
Yeah.
National Expenditure Program.
Yes, as provided in the NEP, Your Honor, that is that amounts to about 10% of the 20 billion that was provided for us in 2015.
And just for curiosity, if you include that additional 2 billion, what is the percentage of the growth rate? Just for
Well,
curiosity.
offhand, Your Honor,
Offhand, yeah.
that if compared to the increase from 2014 to 2015, that would amount to about 6 to 7%, Your Honor.
Well, I guess I have asked enough questions to enable the committee to work on the proposed budget of the judiciary. You know. And,
Thank you, Your Honor.
Madam Chair,
Justice Perez, please.
please accept my apologies, Your Honor, for being a little bit informal a while ago.
no, that's in fact I like it that way, Mr. Justice, because we are so formal here.
I didn't even notice it. What informality is a justice speaking about?
No. We were speaking off the record, and I was saying that he was my roommate in the dorm, in Yakal Residence Hall in UP. I will not go on record, off the record, what Justice Perez was doing then.
He's more senior than I am, Your Honor.
Only by 2 years, Mr. Justice.
How long were you roommates, if I may ask?
Don't ask me as if you're. We did have an affair, you know.
Was it in a bunk bed, a double bed? Then who was on top? I was never in the dorm in UP. I used to go home to Malabon, so I don't know how it is to be.
Masaya kami nun sa UP.
Will you tell me about those happy times after this
No, I will
hearing,
not
Mr.
go on
President?
record. We'll let Mr. Justice Perez do the.
So with that, on that happy note, we thank the Senate President for providing me quorum and for asking those relevant questions. And I thank all our esteemed justices for being here today. They were here very early. I therefore move to... you will move. Yes, I forgot. You will move and I will...
So I move that we submit the budget of the judiciary for the consideration of the committee and ultimately the plenary, with all the inputs that we have placed of record with the hearing today.
Thank you. And we adjourn today's hearing.
Thank you so much, Your Honor.